Are you a cheater? Well, this week on the Nerd Man podcast, I'm going to be talking about cheating. So, as I said, this week on the Nerd Man podcast, I'm going to be talking about cheating. In specific, I'm going to be talking about cheating in video games, but I may dabble into a few other categories as well. We'll have to see as I go on here. But I guess what I wanted to start with was sort of let's look at cheating in general. I mean, when I'm talking about cheating, I'm talking about putting in codes and different things to alter the gaming experience and maybe make it funner for yourself or whatever. Now, before I talk about any of this cheating, I don't condone, cheating on multiplayer games and things like that. It ruins the fun for everybody. So I'm talking about single player experiences and things like that. So I guess to start with, I wanted to talk about the history of cheating in video games and we'll just kind of walk through the timeline and history of cheating in video games and where it started and sort of where it is today. So I started playing games back as early as the Atari, and my first system was a Nintendo. And back in those days, you had a lot of times games just had cheat codes built into the game. I mean, the most famous code of all is the Konami code, which I may get wrong here, but it's I think it's up up down down left right B A start or it's up up down down left right B A start. It's something along the lines of that. I mean, it's a famous code. I used to have a T-shirt that had it on it, and anyways, it was the Konami code they called it. I remember using it in Contra. It gave you more lives, and there was a lot of codes like that in video games. You could put something in, and it would give you maybe some more lives or something, a boost on something else, and it was fun. It was fun to put those codes in and to play through the game with a little help, or I think you can approach cheating in a couple of different ways. Oftentimes I will play a game through the first time and beat it and have my fun with it and the challenge of it. And then sometimes I want to play through it again, but I don't want the challenge anymore. I want to have fun with it. And I want to cheat. I want to have all the lives or infinite health or infinite ammo, etc. So I wish every game had those abilities in them to cheat, to activate codes or something, or maybe after you beat a game, it gives you access to some just cheat codes in the game that you can utilize. But that's sort of where the start of cheating came in video games. You put a code in, usually at the title screen or whatever, some button combination, and it unlocked something like extra lives and whatever. I talked about that. But along came the game Genie and Game Shark. Now, I remember having this for the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. I can't remember if there was one for the Nintendo. I think there was a Game Genie for the Nintendo. But specifically, I remember having this on the Super Nintendo. And I played the Super Nintendo quite a bit. And this was an awesome device. It was a device that you could attach. If you recall, the Super Nintendo used cartridges. You'd stick the cartridge into the console. Well, the Game Genie and Game Shark was like an in-between. It was like its own cartridge that you stuck your cartridge onto, and then you stick that into the console. And basically, when you started the game, it brought you to a menu first, the Game Genie or Game Shark menu, where you could put in codes. They were like lined codes. They're just, I don't even know what it was, just like ones or numerical codes with, I think, alphabet letters and different things in different combinations, something like an 8-digit code or something like that. And basically, from my understanding, is what it did was it altered lines of the game code it sort of filtered it through this Game Shark, Game Genie, and so when you started up the game, when you said, okay, you put in a code, I want infinite lives or unlimited ammo and things like that. When you started the game, it sort of overrided the game code and put those cheat codes in so you could play the game with them. And I loved it. It was great. I played through a lot of games over that way. I mean, I always played, like I said, I pretty much always played games first time through no codes. But I would, back then I was younger, I had more time and things. I'd replay a lot of my games over and over and over again. And, I didn't have money to go buy a new game. I didn't have Steam sales and different things that, I could get a ton of games for cheap. Back then it was, you wanted a game, it was pretty much $50 or whatever it cost brand new. And so I played them over and over again, and having the thing like the Game Genie and the Game Shark was just, it was a way to enjoy those games in a different level. I guess I should come into the mentality before I move on of sort of that cheating mentality. Now, some people, they're adamant that they think, why do you need to cheat? Why do you need to play a game with cheat codes and things? Well, I think there's kind of two different people. There are people that just can't wrap their minds around it, that they want to have the purest experience they can with the game. And then there's people like me. And basically, I'm the kind of person who I like to have that pure experience first, usually, and then I want to cheat. I'm the guy that likes Superman, and I like to be sort of the all-powerful character in games and things like that. I find enjoyment out of it, and some people don't find enjoyment out of it, and they don't understand people like me. They're like, why would you enjoy that when you can just know you're going to win every time or whatever? And it's like, because it's fun. That's what I say. It's fun. And then you have people who like to cheat all the time. I guess that's a third person. And those people just aren't usually fun at all. But, I'm not talking about those people right now. I'm just talking about cheating in general and kind of my experience with it. So we had the Game Genie and the Game Shark, and that kind of carried on through, I think, the PlayStation, and I'm not sure, I can't remember if there was one for the PlayStation 2, but I know as we got into sort of the PlayStation 2 era and things, and Xbox and stuff, we started to have the death of cheat codes or cheat devices, which was achievements and trophies. Those really killed the cheat devices. I'm sure the systems became a little more complicated to figure out and alter the codes and stuff when they moved to disc-based games and stuff. But ultimately, what killed cheat codes in games is trophies and achievements, because basically now we have this system in place that everybody's got to get the achievements. We got to unlock stuff. It's the achiever mentality. It's that person that has to do everything. And I'm a completionist person, and I've gotten a few platinum trophies or 100% achievements on games in the past, but I think it has ruined sort of the other side of games with the cheating codes and stuff. The fun side of gaming, they don't put that in games anymore, and they could put it in just into the game as a general. Like I said, maybe once you beat the game, you unlock some cheat codes to play. But what they don't want is they don't want that data basically altered in games, the achievement data and player scores and things like that. And in my opinion, it's ridiculous. Now, I fully understand with the world of online gaming why cheat codes can be bad, and as I said in the beginning, I don't support that. I don't support cheating in games, because that just makes in online games, because that makes it just not fun for everybody. I mean, as much as I like to be that kind of all-powerful, unbeatable character, when I'm playing, that's when I'm sort of in my solitude. I know other people have different playing experiences and things, so I don't want to wreck their experiences. And honestly, if I'm playing against a person, I want to be better and get better, and be able to hold my own against them, not by my own merits, not by cheating. And I mean, I don't know. I think maybe we've all come across sort of cheaters in the past, and on an online game. If you've been ever played online games, I don't play online games very much, but there's times where things happen. You're just like, there's no way that they had to have been cheating somehow. And you might be asking yourself, well, how can you cheat? You just said that they can't cheat anymore. Well, that sort of moves me into the current state of online, or current state of video games, is you do have the ability to cheat. It's a little different. It's a little more difficult, and it usually happens on the PC. But you have, modding, which is a sort of a form of cheating, but not. I mean, depends how you look at it, but you have people that can mod games, which usually doesn't necessarily mean cheating, but it's, changing something, changing the skin of your character, to make you look like somebody else or something, or altering the game world in some way to maybe have different graphics. That's usually what the modding scene is. I think I, have seen a few mods that might alter the game in some way, which could be considered cheating. But then you have trainers. Trainers is cheating, essentially. I mean, it's kind of like the game sharks and game genies and stuff. It finds stuff in the codes and alters it and stuff, but it has to run. They're a little known to be malicious, not quite so safe, because it sort of opens up your computer to be able to do that. You're kind of actively altering code and things and stuff. So I've looked into it before. I've never done it because honestly I'm too scared to open up my computer in that way. But what I have tried and just recently found out is called, I believe it's called cheat tables, basically. And I used a program called Cheat Engine. I'm not going to talk about it, or whatever. You want to look it up, you can go find it. But basically, it works just like a game Genie and Game Shark did. You run this program, and you kind of have to find the codes. I think you can, maybe pull up other people's code tables. I haven't quite figured all that out. But anyways, basically, I used it on Resident Evil 0. Now, I bought Resident Evil 0, the HD remake, on Steam a while back, and I didn't really want to play through it. I did want to play through it, but I wasn't fully looking forward to it because I knew the old style game play of the early Resident Evils. If you've heard me talk about Resident Evil before, I have a whole blog or podcast about it. I like the newer ones. I going back to the older ones is tough. I still enjoy the storylines and things, but going back and playing in those old gaming engines and systems and stuff it's tough. And so I wasn't fully looking forward to it. I played Resident Evil 1, the HD remaster, and I did play through that 100%, without cheat codes. But this one I was like, oh, I wish I could play this with cheat codes, like have infinite rocket launcher or something like that, and just be fun, blow through it and enjoy the storyline. And I found this thing. I did a little research. I found this cheat engine thing, and basically you run it in the background while you're playing the game, and you kind of like look for things. It's hard to explain. You'll have to look it up if you really want to get into it. But you have it look for parameters in the game, and I actually used somebody else's sort of strategy on how to do this for that particular game. But essentially, eventually, I figure out how to have pick any item I want, or infinite of that item I could pick the quantity, which essentially I could just keep adding quantities to it. So in the end, I had basically an infinite rocket launcher that I played through the game with, and I had a blast with it. I would have never enjoyed playing that game as much if I just played through it straight through. I just wanted to experience it again. I played through it in the past, when it first came out on the PlayStation ages ago. But now I just wanted to enjoy the storyline for what it was. But there are other games. There are times when I don't want to play through a game. I just want to kind of have fun with a game. And I think the one game in my mind, and I haven't played it yet, well, I did briefly play it once in the past, but is the Fallout series, for instance. I really have no intention of wanting to really play those games seriously. I think they have some fun factor to them, but I would love to just play through those games with some cheat codes, infinite ammo and stuff, just screw around. I mean, the games are designed to sort of screw around in these open worlds anyways. I say, why not? So I may try to see if I can get this cheat engine thing to work for Fallout in the future here if I decide to go play it. But I don't know. I think cheating is okay in this particular instance. I think it adds some fun to the games. I wish developers actually just put it into the game, even if it was like a DLC or something like that, that you paid like $5 to unlock cheat codes and stuff, and whatever. You want to deal with the achievements and trophies, and then if you activate the cheat codes, you deactivate getting achievements and trophies. That's the easiest way to do it, and that's how it should be done. In online play, it doesn't work. You can't activate cheat codes for online play. That's how it should work. And I think everybody would be happy that way. And I would be willing to pay $5 on occasion to get some cheat codes in a game that came straight from the developer. Because then it would be legit. I wouldn't feel like I'm trying to, hack my computer or game or whatever. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I wish there was more of it in this day and age. And they've, since the early age of gaming, they kind of went away from it. And sort of along those same lines, though, too, with tabletop gaming and stuff, cheating's no good in table. I mean, it relates to online play in video games. I mean, nobody has fun when other people are cheating. So, basically, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on cheating in video games? Do you like to have put on a code every once in a while to get infinite health or ammo or different things? And if so, I mean, maybe even let me know. What have you guys found out in recent gaming? I play most of my games on Steam these days, so most of my gaming's on the PC where I can, try out modding and things like that every once in a while. I know there is some complicated ways, probably if you've cracked your console systems, you can do different things, but I don't like to get into that too much. I don't really like to alter my hardware. If I can alter a couple of lines of code for fun, I'll do that. But in general, that's my thoughts on cheating in video games. And I'd like to hear if you guys have any thoughts on the matter. I know I've got some friends who probably don't really agree with cheating in video games, and they're sort of on that other side of, why cheat? Why not just play the game for what it is and stuff? But that's not how I am. And once in a while, I like to put a code in to just enjoy the game the way I want to enjoy it. And I don't see a problem with that because it's my game. I paid for it. I can do what I want with it, or at least that's what I wish I could do. And that being said, like I said, let me know your comments or if you have any thoughts on the matter. And stay tuned. I do have, if you've actually listened this far, I do have an announcement. I am no longer going to be using SoundCloud to put my podcast on. You'll be able to find all my podcasts on my website, and they should also be on Google Music as well in their podcast section. I just got that going the other day, and I'm thinking about putting it on iTunes. We'll see. Maybe if I hear from people and they want it on iTunes. If you listen to my Apple versus Google versus Microsoft podcast, you'll know that I don't like Apple too much, and just out of spite, I might keep it off. We'll see. I do want my podcast to reach them, as many people as it can. But so going forward, if you're on my Facebook, you will be able to, I update every time I post a podcast, so you'll be able to get the latest one there. And as I said, go to my website. You'll get all the podcasts there. I just revamped the podcast section, and you should be able to find them on Google Music for free. And that's about it, I believe. So if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to my channel and stay up to date with all my videos and keep YouTubing it up. And if you're just listening to a podcast, then I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.